Good morning, bedheads. Click. How are you today? Ugh. This is how I'm feeling today. Yes, I am a ray of effing sunshine today. Oh my gosh. I hope you're doing well. So, we're just gonna, every once in a while, you just have to keep it real. I mean, I always keep it real. But most of the time, I'm feeling like, okay, I'm going with the flow. Things are, I can handle things. Things are well. And then every once in a while, I'm like, you know what? I just hate that guy. I just hate him. And I know where it's coming from, and we're going to talk about that. But you know what? My ego, and it's not a surprise. It doesn't surprise me that I picked red today. Red is the color for Aries, fiery. Oh my gosh, is anyone experiencing that lately? And I know hate is such a strong word, but I even said to my husband last night, I'm like, I don't think I've ever hated anybody as much as I hate him. And it's about what he represents. It's actually hate for what he represents. And it's so opposite of love, right? So it actually stems from fear. And so because really the two emotions are love and fear, right? So hate stems from fear. So that's where you have to kind of break it down, right? So that's what we're going to do today. So we'll do that a little bit. And then I've got a pendulum message for you today using the pendulum. And so our spirit guides, actually, I've asked now for now on collectively, and my spirit guide said I don't have to keep asking. So I said, when I ask for a message for the community, will you please always just tap into ask all the spirit guides of everybody in the community to give us the message. So it's not just my spirit guides. And then I asked them, do I have to ask you that every time? And they said no. So I'm glad because sometimes I forget, and I really want, when it's a message for the community, I want it to come from all of our spirit teams. Okay. So anyway, so if you're new here, they use this pendulum to give me direct messages using the alphabet, and then they can spell words out, which is really nice. But if you are new here, hi, welcome, Karen. I'm Karen. This is Ask the Spirit Guides. I don't know if I said that. But this is a segment I do on my channel called Coffee with Karen. And so I do it most mornings minus 2 mornings a week. So Sunday through Thursday for the most part. And we just kind of talk about what's going on in the world, how we're feeling about it, just keeping things real. We show up with our bed heads. That's why I called you bedhead, not butthead. Some people say it sounds like I'm saying butthead. So, what else are we doing? Okay, so pendulum message and then oracle. We'll do an oracle message. So I said to them, based on how I'm feeling today, this kind of righteous anger, where would you like to give us a message from? What oracle deck would you like to give us a message from? And they selected angels and ancestors. So we need some messages from them today. And if you're wondering, every once in a while I like to show you kind of what's going on, but there's all my oracle decks because people ask. Whoops, over there. See them? So that's how I have them organized. I have a couple beautiful paintings, watercolor. God, I can't move this thing because that's okay. I don't know which way my hand is going. There we go. There's a watercolor from someone in the community and a beautiful print from a painting. Oh my God, that's so weird, you guys, to try to do this on camera right there. Anyways, so, and if you want to see how official my studio is, this setup, you're ready for it? Okay, this is what you're sitting on when I'm recording. Those pillows. That's how official this is. That is how official this is. Isn't it amazing? Okay. So, and I'm using a laptop. Okay, sometimes it's fun just to get the inside scoop of what people are doing. All right, so yeah, we're going to bring this all back to, because I think what's happening with me And I'm talking about what happens with me thinking a lot of times people can relate, or you could adjust it to how you might be experiencing some things in your life. Get some fur. And then hopefully it brings some comfort to you, in some ways, knowing that other people are going through this. I have to say, I saw a comment yesterday and someone said, I was feeling like crap today, a lot of anxiety, and I just had to come on and listen to you because it helps me feel better. And I'm so glad that's the case. I'm so glad some people find that here, because I know what you mean. I really know what you mean. Because yesterday I wasn't feeling anxiety. A little bit. I was feeling a little anxiety. Yeah, I guess that was what I was feeling. Which then came out as like anger. So, but I was looking for like people also on YouTube, like other people might look with my videos to help me get some perspective, So I totally get that. So I'm glad that I can do that for a few people here. That's amazing. And not only that, but you guys do it for me because I can get on and tell you how I'm feeling, and I get a lot of acknowledgement. Some people don't agree, and that's totally okay. I expect many of you to be sitting in love right now, because we always say because there will be times where I'm sitting in love, and then we'll hold the light for everybody else who's feeling anxious or everybody else who's feeling down. So that's the idea in this community, is we hold the light for each other. But you are at some point, if you're holding the light, you will need the light held for you at some point, because we are human and we're not going to ignore that. And we have a lot of stuff that's coming up from each of us that are different, and you don't know the timing of it, when it's going to come up. And so that's why it's beautiful that we can sit and hold the light for each other, One of the things we're not doing in this community is judging when people are not in the light. We're not doing that here. Because we are acknowledging that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And the more I learn about our soul's journey, the more I understand how deep things go. And by deep, I mean beyond even this lifetime. So if you're not sure about reincarnation, you might want to read a book. There's a book, I'll post it in the description below. Anytime I talk about other channels or materials and stuff, I'll post it below. But like the card deck and stuff like that, because people often ask and I can find it. So if you haven't read Many Lives, Many Masters, highly recommend that book. Read that a long time ago and it blew my mind. So that really opened my mind to the possibility of us having cellular, like almost. See, the thing is that if we've reincarnated over and over again, then we are not only dealing with our stuff here in this lifetime, we are dealing with other stuff. And I also believe through science, I think they have proven this. I don't have any documentation on that. I just have a knowing about it. So I don't know if I learned it somewhere or if I don't know. But that I have an example. It's kind of interesting, but that we have like a cellular, there's like an ancestral, which is funny that they wanted me to pull this. I didn't even realize I was going to talk about this, but like we have stuff that passes down to us through our genes or through our cells, okay? And who knows like how many years of crud and good stuff too. It's just the crud is the hard stuff, And so I have a couple examples. One, we could have metals passed down to us from our ancestors. Like I mentioned this before. Anthony William, who is a medium, he's a medical medium. his spirits have talked about, or channeled through him, that in the 1950s, our mothers mostly, like the women in our family, were, I don't know, men probably too. I guess I don't know why I just think it's women, would get their feet, they'd go to a shoe store in the 50s and they would measure, they have those sliders. I don't even know if they do that anymore, those slider things. Well, they used to put their feet in a box, and their feet would go into a box, and then it would radiate. There'd be like radiation that came out to measure their feet. Okay. Well, like years later, maybe 5-10 years later, they realized people started getting leg cancer. And they're like, what's going on? Well, they stopped using the radiation in those boxes. Well, that radiation is then, like, if it was in my grandmother, well, it would have been my mom. She probably was doing that. She was into fashion. She liked to get, I bet she did. I can't ask her now. I mean, I could ask her through the pendulum, but I wonder, like if you have skin issues or if you have other issues or whatever, you could be dealing with metals passed down from your mom. So, or from your dad, just from the cells. The other thing that I find really fascinating, we talk about this in our family, is my husband's family. Not one of the 6 kids learned to swim. Now there's 6 of them, but they did take swimming lessons in the Mississippi. So let's give them a break on that. Not easy to do it in the Mississippi, especially like where they lived, and there's a big currents there. So can you imagine? Well, I know that's very privilegey to say. Can you imagine? It's very white privilege comment. But none of them, all of them, I believe all of them, maybe minus one, have always been real afraid of water. And their dad was forced to learn how to swim by being thrown off of a Navy ship. I think it was a Navy ship or Army ship or whatever. Navy, right? Navy has the ships. So that when he was going into battle, or learning how, I don't know the full story about that, but that's always been kind of the story that we've been telling for years and years and years. Like that's just kind of an interesting cellular type of experience that they're all deathly afraid. Well, my husband's deathly afraid, I should say, of water. And I know a few others are. I just find that interesting, that cellular thing. So if that's the case, then we've got other stuff that passes down to us, that we have to process in this lifetime. And we think it's like, I have a feeling, this is where I kind of wanted to take my hatred towards F45 right now, and everything he stands for. And everybody, honestly, like I have the hardest time. And if I know somebody voted for him right now, I still have the hardest time, like, even if they're the nicest people in the world and they just did it because they just have no idea what's going on. But I am just angry about it. And I think besides just my current makeup of my personality type and my birth chart and being an Aries or whatever, but I also think for old souls, and my understanding, we've asked the spirit guides before, that a lot of our community members here, we're finding ourselves together. We feel comfortable here because a lot of us are old souls, which means we have reincarnated many, many times. And I have a feeling, and we could ask the SGs, spirit guides, if we have been victimized in many, many lifetimes. So I think that's coming up for me. And when I think of times that I've been victimized in this lifetime, like I have been accused of a few things that I didn't do, and nobody had proof, just throughout my life. I just remember being accused of a few things that I didn't do, and then you're like falsely accused, and nothing ever really righted itself, and that's, that is, and I stood up for myself. And I remember at that time talking to the SGs. I've been working with them through the rods about 8 years. So this was maybe 10 years now, because this was probably something that happened about 8 years ago. And they said that this particular person in this lifetime had been victimizing me in many lifetimes, like unaliving me, doing all these things in other lifetimes, right? And that I needed to learn to stand up for myself. And so I did. I mean, in this lifetime, I was like, I'm not putting up with that crap. So, yeah, kind of interesting, right? That we have to process stuff from other lifetimes. Like, who came up with this plan? It's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, it's a little ridiculous, don't you think? I mean, don't you find that a little ridiculous? Like, people who have had chronic pain your whole life, it's probably like from other lifetimes. I mean, how ridiculous. Like, don't you just feel like, I'm just a ray of effing sunshine about that concept. It's ridiculous. So I'm hoping, because we've been reading about The Golden Future by Diana Cooper. I'll put the book below if you're new here and catching up on that. I'm really hoping we're going into that. So, because my understanding by how she describes, and there's a lot of other intuitives that are describing this, so it's not just her, that if we go into that, we're done with this karma stuff. We're done with, I think that's where we're going. Thank goodness, because this is getting ridiculous. Oh, I'm just keeping it real today. I just needed to come on. I don't do this too often. I was doing that kind of in the beginning of my channel. Coffee with Karen used to be literally, I come on with one topic and be like, what the? And then just kind of process through it. But what I find really interesting, okay, so during the full moon and the eclipse that we just experienced last week, I did a video and we pulled some cards. And from that, I had said that I was it was a release and transform video, okay? And I had written down my intentions, okay, right here. So I'll go over a few of them. So when you do something like this, and that's kind of a lot of intentions to work on in a 2-week period, because I put March 14th through March 31st. When you do something like this, or you do clearings, that we have clearings on the channel with the SGs, if you decide to do more than one clearing a day or a week, you're kind of asking for a lot of stuff to come up all at once. So if you're wondering why you're sitting in pissed off mode, which I am now, it's probably because hello, that's a lot of intentions to be working on, So I didn't realize that. I was all gung-ho about my intentions. And then I have all these little crystals. I've showed you guys this before, but I pulled this. See that little circle of things right there? Right there. Where the candle is. So my intentions are sitting inside of those. I just pulled them today. So I had little charms and crystals, and I light the candle so that I could work on these. Well, so here's some of them. So I'm letting go of envy and jealousy. That was a card that came up of something to release and transform during this time. Okay. And one of the things I think I'm the most envious and jealous about is living in Europe. I have no doubt that I've had many lifetimes in Europe, but man, do I want to go live there. My husband does not. So, and I do love him. So I would like to stay with him. So I'm honoring that, at least for the time being. He might change his mind. Who knows? Depends on what goes on in the world. I don't even need to go live there, but I would like, go there for a longer period of time, like 3 months or something, which we could do. I acknowledge all the blessings in my life. Okay, that's cool. That was one of my release and transform, just to remember to acknowledge the blessings that I have in my life, rather than to be envious and jealous of things I don't have, okay? I am in the perfect place at the perfect time. My second chakra is opening widely with the support of Archangel Ariel. That was a card that we pulled about the second chakra. So I put that on there. So if my second chakra, if I have an intention right now of transforming my second chakra to open widely, well, I bet there's some healing in that and some clearing in that, right? I'm open. Okay, let's see. I'm open to the cyclical energy moving into and out of my experience. I am willing to utilize its energy beneficially. All I need is already a part of me. Okay, so that was, again, I got these from Oracle cards. Like I pulled them and then I decided what part of the card, what resonated with me, and then I put them down as an intention. I really love that process, as many of you probably know. This was one of them. Release any expectations and attachments to political outcomes. Divine timing is at play. Well, release any expectations and attachments to political outcomes. Right now it's coming up in anger. As I'm releasing that, it's coming up as anger. So I asked for it. I release all things from my past that's in my way of moving forward. Well, if I'm releasing all things from my past, that's a lot of stuff to come up. You know, I'm just realizing this was probably way too many in a 2-week period. I release all anger and repressed emotions swirling around politics in the U.S. And okay, so it's coming up right now. It's coming up. I'm releasing it, which is amazing. I'm glad that it's coming up. But, you know, again, I asked for it to come up a lot. I can, gave myself a bigger hit than maybe I needed to. And so now what's lovely about this, even talking about it, and I'm hoping that you even hearing it might raise some of your anger or whatever your intentions are, and then we can dissolve it. Just dissolve it, okay? Because even just reading through my intentions right now is helping me dissolve it. I trust that the situation will be fine. That's what I'm releasing and transforming. I'm taking a step back from everything that is swirling around me. Well, I haven't done that, so that's a good reminder. I am able to discern what is noise and truth and what is being told to me. I am able to discern what is noise and what is truth of what is being told to me. Okay, so I'm transforming that to make sure that my discernment is accurate. But again, I got to release a lot of stuff to make sure that I have clarity, right? So that is coming up in my body right now. Let's see. I'm thankful for the beauty and value that my past has offered me, and I'm releasing it and moving forward confidently. Okay, so I'm releasing that. I increase my clairvoyance and alignment with the divine, and I am letting my intuition lead the way. So those again came from Oracle deck that we use. And I did a video on this. It was a video, I'll post it right here. At the end of this video, it'll pop up right here for the blood moon and eclipse. So it's not too late. The energy is still around. People, everybody, I think some people said the energy is like a couple days before, a couple days after. But this month is there are huge things going on astrologically. So it's not too late to do any kind of this kind of work. Well, it's never too late. You can always do these things. So I will put these back over here, but, I think that's why it's coming up. Now, I did also a video, which I will post right here, on victimhood. I think that's really huge for a lot of us right now. So I think we need to be talking about that more, okay? Not only talking about it, but doing cards, setting intentions, and doing clearing. So I will do a clearing. I looked, and I don't think I've done a clearing for victimhood. So I'm going to do that because I want to do that for me, because I do think that a lot of what F45 is bringing up in us is the times we've been victimized. Because, man, I just want to smack him. I do. He's so annoying. The stuff he's doing and how he's just lying to our faces, and it's so obvious. The discerning part of me is there. I got the discerning part. And the fact that people fall for it and that I don't know. Well, it's because I don't know. It's because they're what they're watching. But so we need to work on that victimhood energy. I do. Do you? So I did a video, like I said, I'll post it right here. And it was releasing victimhood energy. And I really did feel a release on this last month, but it is really coming up right now. So I think there's more. Okay. So like just real quick, some of the ones that I put here, releasing victimhood and trauma energy is simple. So I was smart to say that I wanted it to be simple. I didn't want it to be a huge shakeup. Okay. But I might need a huge shakeup. I don't know. I expect the release to go unnoticed. I did actually notice one. It wasn't a like anger. It actually was more of like a lightness. So I just remember one day, and I talked about it on coffee, I think. I just remember one day where I just had this real lightness about something that I had felt like a victim my whole life when it came to my biological dad. And it was just an acceptance, like, yeah, I don't need to put up with this anymore, Let's see. Letting go of all lower energies, including guilt, fear, anger, and pride. Clear all clouds of the future. Release the weight of the past for me and the collective. Letting go of all energy of anger. So clearly still working on this. So if you write up something like this, then you could put your crystals on it. It's the same thing with my cards. I just happened to do it on cards rather than in my book. I kind of wish I just done it. Well, then I couldn't use my book because I wanted to put crystals on it. So anyways. So that's what came up. See, I wrote it later. I wrote it right there. This is what came up in a realization for me. I will no longer participate in things in which I feel that I'm an outsider, because it came up, a realization came up that when I go to my biological dad's house, I most time feel like an outsider. I have been feeling like an outsider since I was little. And that was the realization that I got from releasing victimhood. And I was like, I will no longer participate in things in which I feel like an outsider. And, other people don't. I mean, it depends on your makeup, and I'm a feeler, so I might feel being, and it just depends. I mean, everybody feels different things. Like nobody can understand why. I bet if I told them that I have felt like an outsider my entire life, they'd be like, are you kidding me? Like they wouldn't understand it. And it's not even worth my energy to explain it. Okay. So because we all have such, every single part of us, which is billions and trillions of experiences, that makes up your whole, it's like your whole package, your whole code. Well, can you imagine billions and trillions of experiences and cellular stuff and all that? We all have a different code. So you can't fully understand what somebody else is going through because their code is completely different. Because the weight of things that happen to each of us is different. So do you know what I mean? So yeah. So anyways, it just comes back. I just keep reiterating here on the channel of just letting people be who they are and going through. It doesn't mean you have to accept it in your own life, meaning if they're going to be who they are and work through whatever they're working through, then you're not comfortable with it, then you move away from it. But you got to let them do it, So, which is where my anger for people who voted for F45 will go. My rational mind will go there. My spiritual self will go there eventually. It circles. I keep circling around. Don't you guys keep circling around? Like, oh, okay, I get it. Oh my God, I'm getting, now I'm getting pissed. Okay, now I get it again. Right? Oh my gosh, this is such the weirdest experience ever. So hopefully we're going to be done with it soon. All right, so I'm actually getting quite bored with my group messages from the pendulum. Just because they keep saying the same thing. Feels like they're saying the same thing. So I'll show you guys. So again, the pendulum is this. If you're wondering what this is, I mentioned in the video last night, I'm creating a pendulum pack. It will be for sale, but there's going to be a whole bunch of different pendulums. They'll be printable. It'll be cool. There'll be like one for health and one for finances with actual words. So I just am inspired to do that for myself. So I'm going to create it for myself, and then I might as well offer it to you. It won't be expensive. So let's see. I wanted to show you, so with the pendulum, last night I showed you guys this new one I got. I have to say this is not great. Now, I love the fact that it's this angel light stone or whatever stone that is. Lapis, maybe? I think it's lapis. So, but the problem is it's quite thick. So I used it this morning for the first time when you're doing the pendulum, but because of where I do it, like I do it down from here, I can't quite see what letter it's pointing to. So keep that in mind. Now, somebody in the community made this for me, and this works perfect. So that works perfect. Okay. And then the one I originally used, I just want to show you different ones in case you're considering buying some. So this was my original one. It came with my pendulums, actually. It came with my dowsing rods. So I have it linked below. I think we do have a packet we linked to Amazon that has the dowsing rods, and it comes with the pendulum. So this one's really easy to see too. You just want it to be pointy enough and not separating, because this one I don't know, it's too thick, and then it has that metal on there, but it's too thick. When I'm looking down, I can't see where the point is. So just keep that in mind if you're purchasing one. Okay. Okay, so the message for today, let's just go over what some of the more recent ones were. Well, let's just go over this week. So today is the 18th. So the 10th, March 10th, was watch him closely. They were talking about F45. And there was a possibility of him being unalived. So that was on the 10th. On the 11th, they said justice is coming. And it had to do with, all of these have to do with F45, okay? All of these are political messages. Except for every once in a while we get, like yesterday we got love wins today, or win today love. We got love wins today and keep faith yesterday. So that was, it was related to what's going on. But so on the 12th, we got wait is over. And they always bring up the Hague. They brought it up in the March. We did decoding of the last 3 messages from March last night. I will post that video here at the end of this video. And now I have to remember the 3 that I promised to post. If I'm not writing that stuff down, darn it. Let me see, victim. Okay, so I'm decoding here. You're like, why are you making me watch you write this down? Victimhood, up in the victimhood. And then what was the one down here? What was that one? Blood moon. Okay. Ha ha ha. Look at me and my memory. I'm only on 1 cup of coffee too. Okay, so wait is over. The 13th, military is ready. The 14th, I don't know if I told you what the 14th was. They said military is activated. And maybe I did, because I remember talking. And so, and then I clarified, was it the U.S. military? And they said yes. Now, somebody in the community said, because I love, you guys are amazing. Oh my gosh, when we did the decoding video last night, you guys had the best responses to those. This is so much fun. I'm totally doing those decoding videos from now on, because it's really fun as a community, because everybody brings in their own ideas of what the messages could be. and we're just like we're little decoders. It's just fun, you know, it's just a fun place to put our energy. So somebody had said, well, what happened, what happened over the weekend when they over Yemen, which I don't know anything about that. And I hope that was necessary. I don't know. Let's not talk about it. I just don't even know. But anyways, it could have meant something like that, but I don't think so. I think there's like a whole stream of things, and they've been warning us for a couple weeks. Like there was one a couple weeks ago, like about safety, preparing for safety, all this kind of stuff. So they've been kind of preparing us for a couple weeks. It's going to be very interesting in a month to look back over these messages and see like what's making sense. What made sense? Yeah, like on the 23rd, no, on January 23rd, so that's almost a month ago, risk high now, safety. On the 24th, if you're new here, the message they spelled out, my RSGs they're funny. They spelled out, Elon, you suck. So they've been talking about some cities being under attack, war in sight, see justice now. I mean, it's just been a very consistent message, but if you know anything about timelines and energies, things shift. And so I think they've just been preparing us for something that's coming up, and, I don't know. So on the 16th, they said, "Here, Jack." And I asked Jack who, and they said Jack Smith. And then their second message to us was, "Love you." So cute. Yesterday was "Win today, love, and keep faith." And what was crazy, I thought that was crazy, is they wanted me to pull from a crystal oracle deck, and we pulled turquoise. And the meaning of turquoise, part of the spiritual meaning of turquoise is the campaigner stone. Brings strength and protection to those taking peaceful action to protect human rights or the environment. I mean, that's incredible. So today, once again, now they're saying here. Okay, so on the 16th they said, "Here, Jack," and once again, Jack is here. And then I said, "Why does this matter?" And they said, "Arrest F45." So, okay, well, we'll see. I'm like, I don't know why. And people want, like, I know somebody asked in the comments yesterday, like, "Oh, I hate to ask, but I'd really like to know the timing." Yeah, I would too, to be honest. But as you can see, we've been getting these messages for a couple months. So it's very, very hard to pin down a date with the spirit world and the way timelines and energy shifts. Because here's why. So now I just shared this, right? So because I shared this, your energy shifted one way or another. Every single message we get in the world, you get 100,000 messages a day or something like that. Every message you get shifts your energy one way or another. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, there's 8 billion people on this planet, plus all the other living creatures. Everything shifts energy. Boom, boom, boom. Everything that's happening. So you see what I mean? Like, that's why. Is that it's almost impossible to make predictions. So that is the energy right now. They keep reiterating Jack is here. So, you see what I mean? That's why you just can't pin down things, because our energy shifts stuff. And that's why people talk a lot about stay in love, stay in light, because you're shifting the energy of love and light. You're making it bigger. So that's how much control we have. And so, we'll always do our best to, bring the positivity to us. Like, okay, cool, let's do this. But how many of you just now said, "Yeah, right"? How many of you just now said, "Yeah, right"? It comes in my mind sometimes. I even said it. I'm like, I'm kind of getting tired of these messages, right? That energy is going to shift this back. If you went, yeah, right, okay, that energy that you just gave to this message shifted it backwards. It shifted the timeline. Okay, so if you, but then there was everybody was like, cool, yes, yes, yes. They just moved it, then they just shifted it back here. So we might have just come back to center again. So, yeah, I mean, that's just the way it is. That's just the way what's that song? That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. I know, tell me not to sing. Okay, so that's interesting. So the last thing is, again, I know some people I got new people here, so I do like to just reiterate some things. This is a deck that I found this Oracle deck. It's tarot. I found this tarot deck, tiny, tiny thing. Look how small it is. Okay. I found this tiny deck at a thrift shop. And I decided that I was going to put all of my Oracle decks on this deck. Okay. So I put it on the back side so that if I wanted to use this tarot deck, I could at some point. So all of those decks that I have right there that I can't seem to point to, there we go, are on here. Okay. So then I ask our spirit guides at Collective to tell them what deck do you want me to use today? And I wait for one to kind of fall out. And then I ask, so they asked angels and ancestors, and then I will ask using the dowsing rods, because sometimes I get multiples that fall out, and then they'll tell me. The other one that came out today was Oracle of the Seven Energies, but they wanted me to use this one. Not disappointed by that. Love this one. I love them all. Okay, so let's see what message they have for us today. What do you guys want to tell us about victimhood energy? What's coming up in us? Why we're so freaking angry at F45 and him being such a effing asshole. Sorry guys. I'm actually feeling much better. Thank you. I hope I didn't project. I hope you're feeling better. If you feel worse from this conversation, then cut, clear, and cancel the cord from it. Cut the cord. What I say is I respectfully cut the cord from this conversation. If I watch a video and I feel like crap afterwards, because you don't know how you're going to react. And be careful not to blame it on the person you're listening to. Something's coming up in you from the conversation. It's not the creator's fault. It's something coming up in you. So just cut the cord and maybe do some processing. Pull some oracle cards. Ask, if you're not sure what's coming up in you, pull some oracle cards. It's kind of fun that way. Okay, so I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides and guardians, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect this channel so it's only of the light. Amen. All right, so collectively, what message do you have for us today? What do you have for us today? Whether it's something for personal use, something going on politically, how you want us to interpret what's going on in our lives today. What message do you have? Anything? Yeah, maybe. All right, I'll pull those. Sometimes they come in groups, and if they come out in a group, sometimes cards stick together. Like these cards, especially if you haven't used them for a long time, or they just don't get used. I have so many decks, they don't get used that often. Oh, there. Okay, so a whole bunch just dropped out. So they'll try to drop some out because there's a card in there that they want. Okay, so that's kind of a lot. So I'm going to buzz through that quickly. So I've actually got 2, 4, 6, 7 cards in front of me. So I haven't looked at anything. That's the back side of them. Okay, so you guys, talking to my spirit guides, our spirit guides, are the messages that you want us to have for today in front of me right now? Yes. Are there any more in the deck you want me to pull? No. Okay. So let's start on the right side. Number 1, do you want us to have that one? Okay. Number 2, so they said yes. Number 2 is a no. Number 3, yes. Number 4, yes. Okay, lots of messages today. Let me pull this. So 1, 3, and 4. This is why my videos are getting so long in the morning, because there's they have a lot to tell us right now. Okay, 1, 3, and 4. Let's check in on 5, 6, and 7. Okay, what about 5? No. 6 and 7. Yes. Okay, so 1, 3, 4, and 7. Yes. Okay. 4 messages. Oh my goodness. I am going to go relatively quickly on these. Okay. Because there is a booklet too. All right, so let's start with 1. So, traveler, move in a new direction. Okay, move in it. I do this a lot, I notice on my videos. Move in a new direction. Okay, so you'll have to see if you pick up anything for yourself. Move in a new direction, because remember, these are from all of our spirit guides. Magic guardian, unlock the magic within. Beautiful. Yeah, we're unlocking it for sure, man. It's just there's a lot of unlocking going on. There's a lot of unlocking going on all at once. Ooh, we got another guardian. Heart guardian. Love and let yourself be loved. Okay, all right. Stop hating on F45. Is that what you're trying to say? Because obviously, here's the thing. It's not him. It's just that he's bringing stuff up in us. If he wasn't bringing anything up in me, I wouldn't be hating on him. Right? I wouldn't be hating on him. But he's bringing stuff up in me that I need to figure out, you know? Ooh, we got another guardian. Okay, they're really giving us direction guardian, choose your path. Wow, look at that image, you guys. It's got the eagle too. Isn't that interesting? So we have 3 guardians and a traveler, move in a new direction. Move in a new direction. Okay. So this could be a message for Jack is here. It could be a political message. It could be a personal message. It could be both. Okay. So choose your path, love and let yourself be loved, unlock the magic within, and move in a new direction. So it's interesting because the guardians, I'm just using my own intuition, but you guys use yours. Okay, obviously. The 3 guardian ones are personal messages to us. And then the traveler one is move in a new direction. So I'm kind of wondering if that one, I'm just going to intuit for myself, is that one relates to the U.S. moving in a new direction. Okay, or the world's moving in a new direction. But that we're unlocking the magic within. Love and let yourself be loved, especially from the guardians that are visiting us here. So if you're not getting it from humans right now, or you're just not feeling it within yourself, feel it from them. And then choose your path. Choose your path. Choose your path. What do you think? What do you think? Let me just open up. I'm just going to read about the choose your path one real quick. I like that we got 3 guardians, though. I think they know we need it. Thanks for being here, you guys, for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Oh, direction guardian. Okay, direction guardian. Okay, so the message is connect with your deepest desires, then choose the path that will make your heart and soul sing. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Extended message. Your path isn't set in stone, and your angels and guides have no expectations for you, nor should you have any for yourself. There are many directions you can take. None of them are wrong, as they all hold perfect opportunities to grow and to learn. But life is to be enjoyed and savored. So if you know that there's a decision to be made, and particularly if you are feeling indecisive, choose the path you know is going to make you light up, and choose with your heart. That's cool. That's cool. Let's just read about the traveler real quick, because I get the unlock the magic within, love, and let yourself be loved. And I just think if you can hold this energy of these three guardians, if you want to take a picture of these, can you get that? It's kind of nice if you want to take a picture of those and just hold that. Is that in the frame? I can't tell. And hold those three guardians in your mind's eye today. That can help you as you're moving forward in your day. So traveler. Where is the traveler? This book is broken up by there it is. Okay, different segments. All right, so the traveler. Welcome any opportunities to travel either to the outer world or to your inner world. Wow. Extended message. The road you are on may be the road less traveled. Certainly is. But this journey is going to be highly beneficial for your emotional and spiritual growth. If it isn't about covering outer distance, it's about covering distance within. And you will be evolving every single moment of it. Yep, we are. Remember to keep things simple and to lighten your load, because that will make your journey more enjoyable. You are also being encouraged to see how far you've come and how you've really grown as a person. Because this recognition will support you in going even further. And there's a good chance that along the way you'll make new friends who will become companions for life, which is you guys for sure. I mean, it's weird because I don't even know any of you personally, but I feel like I know you personally. Isn't that interesting? All right, well, I hope this was helpful. Have an amazing day. Tonight I am we're posting your questions that you had about ghosts. So we have 2 parts already for that because you guys had so many questions. So 7 p.m. tonight, Central Time. This is the 18th. So if it's after March 18th, 2025, it's already been posted. So check it out. So, all right, we'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.